The human stood at the edge of the great alien hall. He had never seen a place like this before. The ceiling glowed with soft blue light. Tall pillars curved like living stone. Alien nobles watched from every side. He was not a soldier, not a hero. He was only part of a small human delegation, sent to observe, sent to survive. Humans were still new to the wider galaxy. Most alien races saw them as weak, unstable, too emotional. The human kept his hands still. His heart beat fast. He reminded himself to breathe. At the center of the hall stood the alien princess. She was taller than him. Her skin shimmered like silver glass. Her eyes glowed softly like distant stars. She was known across the galaxy, powerful, untouchable, bound by strict royal rules. The ceremony began in silence, an ancient ritual of greeting between species. No touch was allowed, no sudden movement. The human had practiced this moment many times. Step forward, bow, step back, simple, as he moved forward. His foot caught on the edge of the smooth floor for a single breath. Time slowed. He tried to regain balance. His body leaned forward, too far. Gasps echoed through the hall. Alien guards shifted. Instantly, weapons half raised. The human fell, and in that impossible moment, his lips touched the alien princess. The kiss lasted less than a second, but the universe seemed to stop. The hall froze. No sound, no movement. The human pulled back in horror, his face drained of color. He knew what this meant. Touching royalty was forbidden, punishable by death. Alien guards fully raised their weapons. Royal advisors shouted in shock. Some screamed for execution. The human dropped to his knees, his mind empty, waiting for the end, but the end did not come. The alien princess did not scream. She did not strike him. She did not order his death. Instead, her eyes widened, her breath caught. Something changed in her expression. Shock turned into confusion. Confusion turned into curiosity. She slowly raised a hand. The guards froze. Unable to move without her command, the princess stepped closer to the human. So close that he could feel warmth from her skin. The hall remained silent. She leaned down, her voice barely above a whisper. Do it again. The words echoed louder than, any weapon? The human stared up at her, unsure if he had heard correctly. Fear rushed through him. Your Highness, he whispered. I did not mean to. She did not move away. Her eyes locked onto his. You awakened something, she said softly. Murmurs spread through the nobles, anger mixed with fear. No one understood what was happening. The royal council leader stepped forward. This is unacceptable, he shouted. The human must be removed. The princess turned slowly, her voice calm, sharp. No, she said. The single word carried power. The guards lowered their weapons without question. The human felt the weight of every eye on him. He was alive, but more exposed than ever. The princess looked back at him. This human stays, she said. He belongs to me now. Gasps filled the hall again, some in shock, some in fear. The human's heart raced. He did not understand her words, but he understood danger as the ceremony ended in chaos. He was escorted away, not to a prison, but to royal chambers. Behind him, whispers followed. Rumors were born. The galaxy had just witnessed something forbidden, a human touching an alien princess and surviving. If you enjoy sci-fi stories where small moments change everything, please consider subscribing to this channel for more journeys beyond the stars. The human did not know it yet, but that single, accidental kiss had already begun to change the fate of worlds. The human woke in a quiet room. Soft light flowed from the walls. The air felt warm and calm, too calm for someone who should be dead. He sat up slowly, expecting guards, chains, or a blade. Instead, there was silence. The room was large and smooth. Alien symbols moved gently across the walls, like living thoughts. This was not a prison. This was royal space. Fear crept into his chest. Not the fast fear of danger, but the slow fear of attention. He remembered the kiss, the frozen hall, the princess's words, do it again. The door opened without a sound. 2 alien guards entered, tall and armored, their eyes unreadable. Follow, one said. The human stood, his legs steady despite his thoughts. They led him through glowing halls, past nobles who stopped and stared. Some looked angry, some looked afraid, some looked curious. He was no longer invisible. They reached a private chamber. The guards stepped aside, and the princess stood waiting inside. She looked different now. No crown, no ceremonial armor, just flowing robes of deep blue light. Her eyes met his, and the room felt smaller. You are awake? She said. Yes, he replied carefully. She studied him in silence, as if listening to something beneath his words. You are not trembling, she said. I think I should be. He answered. A faint smile touched her face. Most do, she said. She turned away and walked slowly. Sit, she said. He obeyed. Every movement felt watched, measured. My name is Alira, she said. I am the first daughter of this empire. He nodded. I am only human, he said. That is the problem, Elira replied. She stopped and faced him. My people believe emotions are weakness, she said. Touch is forbidden because it awakens old instincts. The human listened closely, saying nothing. When you kissed me, she continued, her voice steady but tight. Something ancient responded. The lights in the room shifted color, soft gold mixed with blue. My bloodline carries old memories, Elira said. Memories of a time before empires, before lies. The human felt a strange pressure in his chest. Not pain, recognition. You did not force it, she said. You did not plan it. That is why it mattered. A distant sound echoed through the palace. Voices raised. Arguments. The council is angry. The human said, they are afraid. Elira corrected. She moved closer, lowering her voice. They believe humans are unstable. Too unpredictable. The human let out a slow breath. We hear that often, he said. Elira's eyes narrowed slightly. Because it is a lie, she said. She activated a hidden panel. Images appeared in the air. Old records. Ancient symbols. They erased humans from true history, she said. Not because you were weak, but because you could change. The images showed humans standing beside other species. Not servants, not pets. Equals, the human. Felt his throat tighten. No one told us this, he said. They would not, Elira replied. Fear prefers silence. Suddenly, the room darkened. A warning tone sounded softly. Elira turned sharp. They have decided, she said. Decided what? The human asked. To kill you quietly, she answered. The words hung heavy. The human did not move. Then, why am I still alive? He asked. Elira met his eyes. Because I have not decided yet, she said. The palace shook slightly. Power shifted. Systems locked. They are watching this room, she said. Waiting to see which side I choose? The human stood slowly. I did not mean to cause this, he said. Elira shook her head. You revealed it, she replied. Outside the chamber, footsteps approached. Many, heavy. The next moment will change everything, Elira said. She looked at him. No fear in her eyes now, only resolve. And for the first time, Vilhuman understood. Vilkiss was not an accident anymore. It was a beginning. Vilguards came at night. Vil did not announce themselves. Vil did not wear royal colors. They moved like shadows through the palace halls. The human felt it before he heard it. A change in the air. A quiet pressure that made his body alert. Elira stood near the window when the alarms failed. Her eyes narrowed. They chose silence. She said. The door did not open. It melted. Cut clean. By a thin beam of light, 3 figures stepped inside. Clad in dark armor, faces hidden, weapons humming softly. By order of the council, one said. The human will be erased. Elira moved in front of him without thinking. You will not touch him, she said. The lead assassin laughed softly. You cannot protect weakness forever. The human did not wait. He moved. Not fast, but precise. When the first weapon fired, his body reacted on instinct. He rolled. The beam cut empty air. The second assassin rushed him. Stronger, heavier. The human felt fear rise. But instead of freezing, his thoughts sharpened. He grabbed a fallen chair, not as a shield, as a tool. The impact cracked armor. The assassin stumbled back in shock. Elira stared. Humans were not trained for this. Not like this. The third attacker lunged. A blade aimed at the human side. Pain flashed. Hot and sharp. But the human did not fall. He stayed standing, his muscles adjusting, his breath steadying. He pushed forward, ignoring the pain, learning from it. The blade slipped from the attacker's hand. The fight ended as fast as it began. Silence returned, broken only by heavy breathing. Elira looked at the human's wound. Blood showed, but already slowing. You should be on the floor, she whispered. I feel fine, he said, and realized it was true. Outside the room, more footsteps echoed, not assassins this time. Royal guards burst in, weapons raised, then stopped. They looked at the fallen attackers, then at the humans still standing. Whispers spread quickly, fear mixed with disbelief. Elira turned to the guards. Leave us, she commanded. They obeyed, but their eyes stayed on the human, rewriting everything they believed. Elira faced him slowly, her voice quiet. My people think humans break under pressure, she said. He touched his side, feeling warmth, not weakness. We adapt. He replied. Elira nodded slowly. Yes, she said, and that terrifies them. She activated a hidden screen. Security footage played showing the fight from every angle. By morning, she said, this will reach the council. The human understood. He was no longer a mistake. He was proof. They will come again. He said. Yes, Elira replied, and next time, not quietly. The palace trembled slightly, power shifting as factions moved into position. Outside, the Empire whispered, a human survived. A human fought back, and deep within the palace walls, an old belief began to crack. Humans were not fragile. They were simply underestimated. Morning did not bring peace. It brought questions. The palace was awake before the suns fully rose. Whispers moved faster than guards. Eyes followed the human everywhere. Aliyah walked beside him through a hidden corridor, her face calm, but her thoughts loud. The council is splitting, she said quietly. Some want you erased immediately. Others want answers. The human nodded. He had learned that danger often wore polite faces. They stopped before a sealed chamber, older than the rest of the palace. Its surface covered in faded symbols. This place is forbidden, Aliyah said, even to me. She placed her hand on the door. The symbols reacted instantly, glowing softly, responding to her bloodline. The door opened. Inside was darkness. Then light slowly appeared. Not from lamps, from memory. The walls came alive. Images formed in the air. Stars, fleets, worlds long, gone. The human felt his chest tighten. Something here felt familiar, even though he had never seen it before. This is the truth, Aliyah said. The lie hidden from the galaxy. The images shifted, showing humans among the stars. Not as servants, not as guests, but leaders. The human stepped forward. That is impossible, he said softly. We barely left our system. Aliyah shook her head. That is what you were told, she replied. The images showed ancient councils, alien species, arguing, fear written across their forms. Humans were different, Aliyah said. You learned faster. You adapted under stress. You bonded. Across species, the scene changed to war, not started by humans, but answered by them, when threatened. She continued, you did not collapse. You changed. Weapons failed. Tactics broke. Fear spread. The human watched cities burn. Human cities, alien cities, they could not control you, Aliyah said, so they rewrote you. The images darkened, records erased, names removed. Human achievements labeled as alien work. They isolated your world, she said, locked your system. Called it protection. The human clenched his fists. So we were prisoners, he said. Yes, Aliyah replied, and the galaxy learned to slay better. A sudden alarm cut through the chamber. Harsh and loud, Aliyah turned sharply. They know we are here, she said. The walls shook slightly. Security fields activated. They cannot allow you to see this, she added, because once a human remembers, the chamber lights flickered. The images froze. They lose control. The human finished. Aliyah looked at him, something like pride in her eyes. Footsteps echoed outside. Heavy. Many. The council is coming, Aliyah said. Publicly this time. The human took a slow breath. His fear was there, but it did not rule him. If they ask who I am, he said, what should I say? Aliyah smiled faintly. Tell them the truth, she replied. The door behind them began to unlock, voices rising beyond it. The lie about humanity was cracking, and once cracks appear, they never stay small. The great council hall filled faster than the human expected. Alien leaders arrived from distant systems. Their forms tall, sharp, glowing, armored, power gathered. In one place, the human stood alone at the center. No weapons, no armor, only silence around him. Aliyah stood behind the council line, her face unreadable, but her eyes never left him. The lead counselor rose slowly. Our patience has ended, the voice echoed. A human has disrupted royal order. Screens lit up around the hall, showing the fight from the night before, the assassins falling. The human still standing. Explain yourself, another voice demanded. The human lifted his head calmly. He did not rush. He did not bow. I survived, he said. Murmurs spread instantly. Anger, mockery, unease. You were ordered to kneel, the lead counselor said. You were ordered to submit. The human looked around the room, at the rulers of worlds, at the fear hidden behind authority. I am human, he said, and a human does not beg. The room erupted. Some shouted, some laughed, some watched in silence. Bold words from a fragile species, a counselor sneered. Aliyah stepped forward. Before guards could stop her, you call them fragile, she said. Yet you rewrote history to hide them. The council froze. Her words struck deeper than weapons. The human spoke again, still calm, still steady. You erased us because you could not predict us, he said. You feared what adapts faster than control. Screens changed suddenly. Data began to stream. Ancient records, hidden wars, human alliances, erased from memory. Gasps filled the chamber. Some leaders looked away. Others leaned forward in disbelief. These records are forbidden. A voice shouted. Truth often is, the human replied. Security systems tried to shut the feed down. They failed. Too many eyes were watching now. The lead counselor's voice hardened. You stand accused of destabilizing the galaxy. The human nodded slowly. Then your galaxy was built on lies, he said. Silence fell heavy. Not peaceful, dangerous. Aliyah moved beside him. Her voice clear. My bloodline confirms this truth, she said, and I stand with him. Shock spread like fire. the princess had chosen, publicly. The council guards hesitated. Orders clashed. You would abandon your throne, one counselor asked. Elira did not hesitate. I abandon fear, she replied. The human felt the shift. Something had changed. Not just for him. For everyone watching. You may kill me, he said, but humans will remember. The council chamber shook slightly. Not from weapons, from uncertainty. Outside the hall, across distant systems, whispers turned into questions. A human had stood before the galaxy, and he did not beg. The council hall did not explode into violence. It froze. That silence was more dangerous than weapons. Elira stood beside the human, no crown on her head, no guards at her side, only choice in her eyes. The lead counselor rose slowly. You understand? What you are doing, the voice said. You are rejecting your birthright. Elira did not look away. I am rejecting a lie, she replied. Whispers rushed through the hall. Fear changed shape. Some leaders leaned back, others leaned forward. You choose a human over your empire. Another counselor said, I choose truth over fear, Elira answered. The human felt every eye turned toward him. Some saw threat, some saw opportunity. Some saw something they did not understand. Guards shifted their stance. Orders were unclear. Now, no one wanted to be the first to act. The lead counselor spoke again. You will be declared a traitor. Elira nodded slowly. Then history will remember why, she said. A warning tone echoed through the chamber. Security systems flickered. Multiple fleets appeared on the central display. Civil unrest detected. An automated voice announced. The human realized the truth. This was bigger than one hall, bigger than one empire. Outside the palace, crowds gathered. Nobles arguing, soldiers hesitating. Elira turned to the human, her voice low. This is where many turn away, she said. He met her gaze. Calm, steady. I am still here, he replied. That answer mattered more than speeches. The council attempted to regain control. All channels will be closed, the lead counselor ordered. Before the command finished, Elira raised her hand. Ancient authority codes unlocked. Older than the council itself. The displays changed instantly. Broadcast channels opened. Truth spread beyond the hall. Images of hidden records, proof of erased human history, proof of silent control. Gasps echoed again. But this time from across the empire. You will destroy us, a counselor shouted. Elira's voice remained calm. No, she said. I am giving you a choice. The human stepped forward, not as a ruler, not as a conqueror. We are not here to replace you, he said. We are here to stand beside you. That frightened them. More than threats ever could, fleet signals changed rapidly. Some moved into attack position. Others powered down. The empire was splitting. Not by species, by belief. Elira took a slow breath, then made her final choice. I renounce my claim, she said. I will not rule through fear. The hall erupted. Shouts, arguments, panic. Guards rushed forward, then stopped, uncertain. Elira turned away from the throne, forever. Standing fully beside the human now, outside, the galaxy watched. A princess had stepped down, not for love, not for power, but for truth. And in that moment, everyone understood. This was no longer about a kiss. It was about what came after. The galaxy held its breath, not because of weapons, not because of fleets, but because of choice. The council hall no longer mattered. Power had already moved beyond it. Across star systems, messages spread, not commands, not threats. Truth, human colonies that had been hidden, ignored, or controlled received the same signal. History was wrong. Humanity was never weak. On distant worlds, human workers stopped. Human soldiers lifted their heads. Human families listened in silence. Something old stirred inside them. Not anger, not revenge, memory. The human stood beside Elira on a quiet balcony. Below them, the capital city glowed, uncertain, waiting. You could still leave, Elira said softly. Take a ship, disappear. The human shook his head. We hid, once, he replied, that only taught them we could be erased. Above them, fleets gathered, some in defense, some in fear. No one fired. Alien leaders began to speak publicly, for the first time without scripts. Some admitted lies. Others admitted fear. One message repeated across channels. We did not understand humans. The human was invited to speak. Not as a prisoner, not as a symbol, as a voice. He stood before the galaxy. No armor, no title. We are not here to rule, he said. We are here to stand. We adapt, we survive, and we remember. Silence followed, not hostile, not mocking, listening. Elira watched as alien fleets powered down, one by one, not surrendering, choosing restraint. You changed them? She said quietly. He shook his head again. They changed themselves. On Earth, People watched the stars with new eyes. Not as a prison, but as a path. Human ships launched, not in war formation, but in unity. Old human technology awakened. Not because of code, but because humans were ready. The council dissolved within days, not destroyed. Replaced, a new assembly formed, human seats included. Not special, equal. Some alien racists resisted. Fear does not vanish easily, but resistance faded. When humans did not retaliate, did not conquer, did not kneel, they worked, they negotiated, they adapted. Elira stood before her people one final time, not as a princess, but as herself. I chose truth, she said, and truth did not destroy us. Some turned away, others stayed. Change never comes. All at once, the human and Elira left the palace together. No guards, no ceremony, the city watched them go. Two figures, one choice. Stories spread across the galaxy, about a human who did not beg, about a princess who stepped down, about a kiss that revealed a lie. But the real story was quieter. It was about a species that refused to disappear, and a galaxy that finally learned humans were not fragile, not dangerous, not myths. They were equals. And this time, no one tried to erase them again.